Oh no, she came early and now she's gone. Okay, so before we start, I'm going to have us do a Shavasana pillow so that you know at the end how to set yourself up. So if you open this far, yep, perfect, perfect. Yep. Now go lengthwise 2/3. So now I have a thick crease and my fold comes because mine is dark. Nope. Go a little further. Yep. Yep. Good. So when you lie down, you're going to tuck one corner under and you're going to tuck the other corner under. And you'll feel that what you get in the middle. So tuck the corners a little more tightly and then there's a space in the middle, Linda. I can feel the space. Right. And so now my head will fit here. When you put this down, and this is just so we don't have to fiddle around when we get to the end, I'm going to lie down with the tops of my shoulders on the top edge of that blanket. And then your head is in here, and use your hands, and I'll say it again when we get there, but you just adjust it. And so that holds a little lift in the chest and it holds the head. And when you're on an airplane and you're sort of falling asleep and then you suddenly wake up, if your head is not supported, our nervous system fires to bring it back upright. So when you do this, you'll find that the body will relax far more fully because that support is holding your head. So that's going to be our Shavasana pillow at the end. Just an FYI. So now fold it into its long rectangle, put it beside you, 2 blocks and the blanket, and we'll start standing. We will start standing. I know, here we are, thankful to Soulage Studio for hosting us. Hands on hips. Start it out. No? Should be there. Lori's checking us out. See if Facebook picks it up. See if YouTube picks it up. See if we can square out. Good things. Oh, getting used to the new spots. Crazy. Optical illusions. Is it working, Lori? Oh, we should be there. Awesome. So go from heel to toe, landing, heel, toe, moving with your gaze on one point. So there's an aspect of you that's still, and there's an aspect of you that's more mobile. That as you set your gaze more clearly, your leg can move more fully. You just find a few spots where you can get a little wobbly. For 3. For 2. And then feet down, hands high, bring your right elbow to your left knee, and you repeat. Elbow to knee is your exhale. As you open, it's an inhale. And starting to see if you can land ball of foot, then heel. Ball of foot, then heel. And really start to curl your chest in and then open back out for 3. 2. And 1. The other side, elbow to knee. Curling in and opening out. 3, 2, 1. Beauty, knees soft, right hand, left shin, fold over and unfold. Left hand, right shin, fold over. So maybe just hand to the knee, or hand to the shin, or hand to the floor. Knees as soft as they need to be so that you can fold and unfold safely. So that you're rinsing right through the center body. And the breath is starting to get smooth and even. Good. Just for 3. And for 2. And for 1. And hands down. So if you bring your feet back together, and this is the same move that we did last week. Right hand out, bring your fingers in and your thumb up. And then your hand up overhead and your hand down behind your head. Now take your right shoulder towards your right hip and then unfold. Right hand high. Watch my thumb is up, thumb down to the back, shoulder to hip. Fold. Unfold. Right hand, thumb up, hand up, down, and fold. And open, hand up, hand wide, thumb down to the back, and fold, unfold. Good. So you can take the left hand up behind you, fold, unfold, hand up, hand wide, and only then do you turn and fold. Unfold, hand out, thumb up, hand up, bend your elbow, fold, unfold, hand up, last one, thumb down to the back, fold, unfold, and release, shake that out. And we'll use that in different postures to open through your chest. So we come to hands and knees. Perfect. Any luck, Lori? Did we make it? No worries. We'll say yes. It's in there. It's great. Hi, Facebook. We know you're with us. Folding back to child's pose, wag your tail. Oh, settle in. Inch your fingertips just a fraction of an inch forward. And then rise up. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips. Press back down dog. Walk out your dog. And bring your knees down and find your child. So child is breath out. Hands and knees is breath in. Down dog is breath out. Hands and knees is breath in. And the pace now becomes yours. Start with your attention in your feet. Really pulling the toes under the ball of your foot. Really lifting your heels over your toes. And you'll start to feel that you can flex your foot more fully and that you can point your foot more fully. You'll feel the lines from the tips of your toes to the ball of your foot get a little longer. Feel the arch of your foot start to widen. You have connective tissue from the mid-back all the way down through the soles of your feet. So starting in your feet, the last time. And then we meet down dog, pause, and let it be still. Little tiny bend in the knees, letting your hips come higher, letting your seat become wider. And hands and knees. Good, tuck your chin, round your back, press your hands away and let your hips move side to side so that you're opening along the back length of your spine. And dropping the belly, lift through the throat. That's your inhale on the arch and exhaling to round, to open and round. Turn your left thumb forward, your left finger's left. Try to pull your hands apart. Make a little more space in your chest. And if you choose, turn your left fingers one more rotation so your left thumb is left. And start to find the length from your palm all the way through your collarbone, all the way down the left side of your spine. Just for 3. For 2. Pause. and turn your left fingers forward. Turn your right thumb forward. Round and release. Turn your right thumb right again. Just check that the heels of your hands are in one line. And try to draw them apart. So that we open from the soles of the feet through the palms of the hands. 3 and 2 and 1. Turn your fingertips forward and make a big circle with your hips. So planting your hands and planting the balls of your feet. Your toes are tucked under, and from those 2 points, just find a great circle. That with these big circular simple motions, we're just creating some momentum. Reverse your direction. So the hips circle, and the chest follows, and the head follows. And you give yourself permission just to get a little bit more mobile, a little chaotic. That's welcome, that's okay. 3, 2, 1. Good. Pause and put your left hand center right under the center of your chest. Take your right hand behind your head. Right, now straighten your arm, thumb points down. Right, start there. Take your hand straight up. Now turn your thumb to point back towards your feet. Bend your elbow, take the back of your hand to your spine. Linda, you're going backwards. Up here. There we go. Now take your shoulder down, your elbow down. Roll open, elbow points up, look up. Reach your right hand, turn your thumb to the front, bend your elbow, take your hand behind your head and wrap down. So roll up, straight arm, hand high, turn your thumb, hand to your low back, shoulder to the floor. Roll open, arms straight, thumb forward, bend your elbow, elbow down. One more, elbow up, arms straight overhead, reach to the ceiling, turn your thumb, hand to your mid-back, wrap down, roll open, hand high, open up. And just press the left hand down, notice. Good. We're going to change sides. Right hand goes down. Left hand, so reaching to the ceiling, fold your fingers in, reach overhead. So now your arms straight overhead. Bend your elbow, hand behind your head. Wrap your elbow down. Roll your elbow up. Straighten your arm, reach to the ceiling. Turn your thumb towards your heels. Bend your elbow, fold it down. Roll open, straighten your left arm. Turn your thumb, reach overhead, hand behind your head, wrap down. Roll open, straight overhead, reach up to the ceiling, turn your thumb, bend your elbow, last one, wrap down. Roll open, straight left arm, turn your thumb, reach over your good head and put 2 hands downward facing dog. And just feel the space that you're making is across the chest and in the upper back. Let your hips sway a little bit side to side. And just start to feel you're getting a little more space. In the cold winter months, we can become very immobile around our lungs. Step your right foot up, put your left knee down, take your hands up high, and drop your hands, hips back. Hands up and back. Shake out your hands all the way down and all the way up. Put your palms together, put your thumbs down your back, tuck your chin, elbows in. So this will be breath out. Hands up, look up. This is inhale. Hands down, step the left foot up. Fold in. Good. Hands up the legs, sweep wide, reach wide. Palms together and down your back, tuck your chin. Good. Hands up high, look up. And fold down. Again, the left foot steps back and the left knee comes down. Hands up high. Inhale. Thumbs down the back, tuck the chin. Exhale. Hands up high, look up. And fold. Yes. Step back, down dog. Press. Good. Left foot will step up, the right knee down, hands up and down. So you're just making your way forward and back. Your back toes are tucked under. Shake out your fingers. Get a little unstuck up out of the hip, out of the shoulders. Make it yours. And then hands high, palms together. Down your back, elbows come in. Feel that. Elbows in is exhale. Hands up high, look up is inhale. And then set down. We put it together. Step up. Hands wide, sit down, thumbs up, heart up, stand up, down your back, exhaling. Stand up, look up, reach up, and fold. Right foot steps back, right knee down, hands high. Down the back. Hands up, look up, and fold. Inhale, dog. Right foot, left knee, exhale, step. Inhaling up, take your time, down the back, smooth it out, hands up high, and fold, stepping up, sit down, hands wide, inhale, and exhale, down the back, fold in, again, hands up, and fold. You're getting longer, left foot, left knee, hands high, down the back, tuck the chin, hands up, and fold. Into dog. Find the rhythm. Left foot, right knee, hands high. Smooth your breathing. Tuck your chin. Reaching up. Folding down. Stepping up. Sit down. Sweep wide. Reach up. Down the back. Tuck of the chin. Elbows in. And reach up. Look up. And fold. Right foot, no knee. Lunging. Hands high. Down the back, tuck the chin, hands high, look up, and fold. Dog. Right foot, no knee, hands up. Follow your breathing. Keep everything that you've made. And up. And fold. Step up. Sit down, sweep wide. Palms together, down the back, reach up, fold, left foot back, left heel down, hands up. Good. Palms together, down the back, front knee is bent, hands up high, and fold down. Step back, down dog. Left foot, right heel down, warrior one. Palms together, down the back leg strong, arms out long, folding down. Step up, sit down, sweep wide. Excellent. Last one, fold down, step back. So back heel down, hands up high. This is our inhale. Straighten your front leg, bring your hands down. There's your exhale, wrapping your hip forward. Inhaling. Excellent. Exhale down. So as you reach forward, tuck your chin and bring your navel in. And as you straighten out, square your right hip forward and your heel down. Reaching. And then standing. Excellent. One more reach. Stay there. Bend your elbows only. Good, good. Reach. And elbows back. Navel back. Heel down. Reach. One more. Elbow back. Keep that. Reach out. You'll lean forward, lift your back heel, bring your right knee to your chest. Stand. Hold. You got it. You got it. Yeah. Good. Left hand to your hip. Right hand high. Left hand high. We're going to pivot and press your right heel back and stay 3. Good, 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 good. Stay 2. Put your right toes to the floor. Put your right heel to the floor. Take your hands up. There is your warrior one. Hands wide. Set down. Step back. Down dog. Pause. So press your right base of thumb And wrap your right shoulder back. Let your left knee bend and let your right leg straighten. Yeah. Turn your right heel in slightly. And a little circle around that right hip. So that you start to get long from your right hand through your right hip to your right heel. And then pause, creating neutral dog. Notice the right side and the left side. So we're ironing out, we're lengthening out the places that grow tangled or short. Good. Right foot steps up, left heel down, warrior one. So the hands sweep up high, and then you come out of it, hands down, square it off. Now you're stable. From there, sweep out, right? And then hands down, square the hips. When you come forward, your left hip wants to go back. Keep bringing it forward. So your attention's in that left hip coming forward. Slow it down. Be aware of every inch along the way. One more, right? But the movement lengthens your breathing. Bend your elbows. And reach out. Press your back heel. And bend your elbows. And take away any kind of drama. The body so steady. The back heel clearer and clearer into the floor. Reach. Stay. Lift the back heel and lift off to catch your left knee to chest. Yes, interlace your fingers, draw it in. Now stand more fully in the right heel. Right hand to hip. And then right hand high and left hand high, finding your balance. Pivot your left heel back. As though standing on the wall, flex your left foot, press into the heel, press the heel on the floor, belly to the body, and then left toes to the floor. Now heel down and warrior one. Just setting up everything you've made. Back heel down, left hip forward, heart up. Everything you've made. And then set it down. Down dog, steps back. Wag your tail. And plug in the base of your left thumb. Wrap your outer left shoulder back. Take your time. Knees are soft. Pressing the left thigh back, the left heel down. Feel the left side body. The right knee is soft. And then turn your left heel in. And now find circles with the hip. So we made all that order. We ironed ourselves out. Let there be a little disorder to get further into it. And then find your dog. Even out your feet, your thighs, your arms, your hands, and your breath. Imagine widening across the collarbones, widening through the hips, softening the knees, lengthening through your toes. Good. Good. Bend your knees and fold back and find your child's pose. Wag your tail. Mm-hmm. Coming up, you'll put your left hand a little to the right side. Take your right hand behind the left, and it's as though the pinkies could touch. Your arms are crossed, right? Good. So let's say the left hand, reach back towards your left hip, then reach up and over and over and over and over the top and put it in front, back where it was. Now the right hand, reach back, reach up, reach all the way over as far out of your chest as you can and bring your right hand over and outside the left. Left hand draws back, turn your chin, reach up, reach all the way over. And your right hand, reach up, reach over and down. Now you keep that going. And you are opening through the back, through the chest, through the hands. You're just noticing, where is it a little sticky, a little short? You go for 3, all the way through the outer hip, the outer waist, the outer throat. 2. So simple. Good. So that when you come back down into the middle and you find your dog, you notice now from the heart to the hands that space that you've made. Good. Step your right foot up, put your block inside your right foot, and take your left hand back, finding your warrior 2. Beauty. Straighten your front leg, bring the backs of your hands to touch. Yeah. And bend your front knee. Take your knee to the right. Inhale up. And then bend your knee. Good. One more like that. Lift the arch of your back foot, Peggy. Yeah, man. Find the base and then keep that lift. Elbow to thigh. Reach over. That's it. Lori, lift the arch of your foot. Your back foot. Yeah, you're doing it. I know. And then warrior 2, keep the front knee bent, reverse, and slowly straighten as you shake out the tail and the throat, and you plug in your front big toe and your back heel. Now warrior 2. And arm to thigh, sweep over, side angle. Inhale here. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse. Get longer. And exhale, warrior 2. Get deeper. And elbow to thigh, reach over. Stay. Stay. So right hand can stay on the thigh, or right hand can come down to the block. But we're going to bend the top elbow. Take your hand behind your head. Bring your shoulder down towards your knee. Roll your elbow open. Straighten your arm. Take your hand up high. Revolve your thumb. Point to your heel. Bend your elbow. And wrap down. Whew. And roll open and straighten your left arm and turn your thumb and reach overhead. Hand behind head. Wrap down. One more. Roll open and open. Straighten your left arm. Take your left hand straight to the ceiling. Turn your thumb, hand to your back. Wrap down. Keep your hand where it is. Wrap open. Keep it. Right hand high. Go up. Go back. So you have a hand behind you. Reach it further forward. Ha! Further forward. Square your ribs. The left hand is behind you and it's reaching towards the front. Your right hand is over, reaching back. Good. Right hand down to the block. Right leg straight, triangle. Let it open. Open, open, open. Stay. And just sweep the left hand over and back towards your hip. Over the top and back towards your hip. So that from your back heel to your left fingertips, you are long and stay. Fingertips reaching overhead as though your left fingers were over your right toes. Look up under your armpits. Stay. And set down. And step back to down dog. Notice left hand, left hip, left heel. Put your left hand a little towards center. Bend your knees. Let your heels come up. Your right hand holds your left outer shin. Bend your right knee towards your armpit. Send your left knee back. And look up underneath your left armpit. Send the left heel back. Revolve. 3. Left outer hip wraps back. 2. Look under your armpit. Look right to the ceiling. And 2 hands down, knees wide, child's pose. Fold. Walk your hands to the right. And feel the whole line from your left hip through your left shoulder to your left hand. Back into center. And downward facing dog. Starting to feel a little more order, a little more organized. Left hand, left hip. Left foot steps up. And you put a block inside your left foot. If you need two, stack one under the other. And find your warrior two. Perfect. So Alice, see how your toe, yeah, there you go, awesome fix. Just check that your second toe is lined up with the middle of your knee. And as you straighten your legs, you open and you plug into your back heel, and keeping that plug, just bend your elbows so that everything starts from your back heel lifting up. Plug it in so your right hip is plugged to your heel, and bend the knee. Good. So we go one more. Just draw it up, and then float down without getting any shorter. Super, super. Elbow to thigh. Reach over. Take a minute. Swing your hips towards the right side of your mat. Find that line and keep it long as you come through warrior two, right? And reverse. Slowly straighten and wag out your tail and wag out your shoulder so that you're not generating tension. And then bending your left knee, warrior two, widen. Elbow to thigh over. Inhale. Good. Warrior two. Exhale. Inhale, reverse. Go back. Straight front leg. And warrior two, bending. And side angle. And stay. Good. So you may keep this here, or putting your left hand down to the block so that you feel stable. Bend your right elbow, elbow behind, hand behind your head, bring your elbow down, roll down. Now roll opener than you were before. Straighten your arm, right hand high, turn your thumb, take your hand to your low back, take your shoulder down towards your knee. Roll open, right hand high, spin your thumb, reach overhead, bend your elbow, and wrap down, and wrap open, straight arm, right hand high, spin your thumb, hand to your low back, keep that, open your hand, rise up. So now my right hand is reaching forward, my left hand takes me back, and back, ha, ha. Square the ribs, but turn the hips. Straighten the front leg, left hand down to the block, right hand opens wide to triangle. So reaching overhead, and then back towards your hip. Look down. As you sweep your hand overhead, look up. And just become a little more fluid, a little less effort. One more time, when your hand is overhead, just pause and let your fingers drip towards your left toes. And bringing it down. Stepping back to your downward facing dog. Right hand, right hip, right heel, be aware. Nice, out of the shoulders, hips high. Right hand toward the center line, knees bend, heels come up. And the left hand comes to your right outer shin. Bend the left knee and send the right thigh back to revolve. Look under the right shoulder. Right through your heart. Yes. Opposite legs, Linda. Send your right knee back and bend your left knee. Now do what you were doing. Yes. Oh, there's the pose. Beauty, beauty. Set it down. Knees down. Toes together. In your child's pose, walk to the left. And just feeling the depth of the left side body. Letting your breathing become really smooth and full, making space, slowing down. Back into your high plank. As you unfold your blanket one more time, that way you have a pad for your hips and your pelvis as you slowly come to the floor. Walk your thighs back. Put the tops of your feet flat so that you're padded, right? Put your palms right down by your ribs and let yourself come onto your low ribs and just wag out your tail that you're not holding tension The work isn't in the low back. The work is about making your thighs heavier. So point your toes, lift your feet 2 inches and open them wide, and then zip them together. Yep. Inhale, open, and exhale together. Good. Lengthening through your neck, lengthening through the crown of your head. And you take your time. And you find as your legs come together, your shoulder blades zip in. And as your shoulder blades zip in, your elbows zip in. And it all gets just a little bit clearer, a little bit higher. And the last time, we're going to zip the feet together. Keep it. Drop your feet. Lift your heart. Thighs are heavy. Elbows down. So rather than falling into your elbows, I want you to fall into your thighs. My legs are still strong. My legs are still active, as though I'm hugging my heels towards each other. So I'm hugging my thigh bones towards each other and dropping my thighs into the floor. Use your fingertips to draw your heart forward. Try to widen your elbows on the floor to broaden your collarbones. Using your fingers, let your navel, let your belly button get a little longer. Widen your hands, turn your fingers wide, and as you lift your elbows, wrap the elbows in, and you're using your fingertips to draw yourself forward so that I'm lengthening up out of the low back instead of shortening it. Thighs are heavy, up and out of the navel, up and out of the chest. Good. And you're just rolling your way back down to the belly. Elbows come back, feet to the floor. Reach your right hand forward and then back. And your left hand and back. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. So that you can feel the back of the arm, floating your hands off the floor as you can. As though you were a field goal. And the arms parallel with the floor. 5, 4, 3, good. 2, good. 1, press your hands, tuck your toes. Child's pose just for a moment, counter it all. Fold back. And let your low back get very long. And to make the low back even longer, return to hands and knees. Tuck your chin even more into your body. Tuck your chin even more into your body. Rounding and rounding and rounding. You'll take the front edge of your blanket and fold it in half again so that your knees are padded, and you'll just rise up, bringing your palms together, a little wag of the tail. Start from the hips, so the hips fold you back. Thumbs down, hands to the low back. So your hips lift you forward, hands wide, thumbs up, hips forward, hands up. So hands wide, thumbs down is the rotation of the arms, but you're moving from the hips. Hips go first, then the hands. Because if we move from the hands, we won't really find the opening of the low back. Good, hands wide, thumbs down. And then to the heart. Inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale, hands up high, unfold at the hips, and fold down. Yep. One more, hands to the heart. One more, hands up high. And we take this shape that we've built, fold down into your dog. Excellent. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. You'll step your left foot forward. Put your right knee on the blanket. Take your left hand high, up, and back, and pause. So that can be your posture, which is fantastic. You're using your front heel to draw your hips forward. Plug your right hand so that you're opening across to the left shoulder, left hand. Good. So rather than up, Linda, reach back towards your back heel. Bend your front knee. Yeah, you feel the difference? Good. Bend your left knee and maybe catch the top of your foot. It's right there. That's it. It's so close. It is. Good, 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 good. Put it down. Left hand high. and forward and forward and forward and down and elbows down. All of it. Stay. 3. So the left knee stays bent. The hips are heavy. 2. Ha. Good. Walk your hands back, step your foot back. Down dog to change sides. Right foot steps outside of your right hand, left knee comes down. So notice as you do, as you bend your knee, you're bringing your hips forward and your right hand keeps going forward. And it goes up and it goes around and it goes back. Yeah, super simple. So your chin just turned from looking forward across the room to looking back. Good. Bend your left knee. Use your front heel to take your hips forward. Use your right hand to take your chest back. And start to feel the space across your sternum. You can turn your chin, open and close your right hand. And as you're ready, if you choose, you lift your foot to catch the outer foot, pressing your shin into your hands. Nice. I don't know if you're supposed to squinch up your face like that, Lori. Good. Chest broad, chest broad, chest broad. And then hand forward, 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 down. Forearms to the ground. Stay. 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 Walk yourself back. Find your dog. Arms are out long. Legs are out long. Take your blanket, fold it one more time, front to back. It gets longer, it gets thicker. Bring it up towards the front and put it at an angle so the left edge is ahead of the right edge, right? So you have a diagonal. You bring your left knee behind your left wrist and come to sit on the outer edge of that blanket. So further back, Peggy, you want to get your shin in front of the blanket. No, so your knee is not on it. If this is my blanket, I have my shin on the floor. I have my hip on the blanket, and my blanket is following the line of my shin. So that when I lean into that, I can square my right hip forward a little bit. Perfect. Blocks under your hands will give you a lot of support. Of course, it's hard to get to your blocks once you're here, right? We can undo and redo. As you fold, heart is high, just fold down. Good. Inhale back up. Square the right hip forward, get tall and take it with you. Go further forward, lengthen. Lengthen out of your back heel. Rise and fold. And go 2 more times at your own pace. And your exhalation and your fold here is creating ease through the whole body. And just bring your hands on those blocks a step to the right, just like our child's pose, and your forearms to the blocks. If you have space, you walk your right thigh back just a ½ inch. Let the top of your foot drop to the floor. If you need to, a little bit side to side will help make some space. Softening through the outer hip. Allowing your outer hip to become heavy and soft. And as your hip softens, your spine lengthens. You can stay right there the next 3 breaths, or if you feel super frisky, Put your left hand down, reach back, hold your outer foot. If you didn't hold your outer foot with your foot down, then doing it in pigeon is unlikely, but you can give it a go. Give it a go. Otherwise, just keep your foot to the floor, Laura. Yep, and work on folding down. That's the plan. 3. Flatten the top of your foot, Laurie. Just fold down. 2. There you go. There you go. Ah. So that when you unfold, place your hands down, step yourself back. Wag your tail, pedal out your dog. And let the opening of your hip all the way through your shoulder. Just keep moving softly, hip side to side. All the way out. All the way out. Looking at your blanket. Angle it on the other side so the right side is higher than the left, and you can bring your right knee behind your right wrist, shin to the floor first. So your shin is in front of the blanket. Your blanket follows the same line as your shin. When you sit back, you can find your hip on the blanket. Hands on the blocks. Heart comes up. And on the exhale, fold it down. And you take your time. And each inhale is wrapping the left hip forward. Each exhale is folding you down. You're feeling how the release through the shin and the hip and the back fit together. And after the last one, you set your blocks in front and a step to the left. And you put your forearms to the blocks. And if you don't need them on the blocks, put them on the floor. And if they're happy on the floor, walk them all the way out, laying your belly over your shin. So Peggy, look to put your heart right in front of your ankle. Yep. And then walk your fingertips forward as far as you can and use your fingers to draw you out of your hips. La, reach your hips back. Yeah. There you go. You just invented a whole new pose there. So keep your hips down. That's it. That's it. Feeling a release through the tops of the shoulders that you're not holding. If it's too deep, Laurie, don't go in so far. So that you can come up if you choose and reach the left hand back and hold the inner foot. Using the foot to press into your hand. Yep, to turn. There you go. Push into your hand. Revolving. 3. Good. 2. To the front. Setting it down. Pressing back. Down dog. And again, let it move. You're letting the knees bend and straighten. You're letting the hips move from side to side. You're wagging the tail. You're letting it out of the joints. It's been a while since we've been deep down in that. Set your blanket aside, walk your feet to your hands, sit your seat down and lie back. Knees bend, feet flat, palms open a beat, and just press your thighs away. And as we come onto the floor here, it's smoothing the breathing to soothe the mind. Left palm is flat to the floor. Right palm is flat to the floor, right beside your hips. Heels are under your knees, feet are flat and just hip distance apart. As you lift your hips, take your right hand overhead and tuck a shoulder under, tuck another. Your right palm faces the ceiling now, your left palm into the floor. As you roll your hips down, bring your right hand down, look left. Good. Left hand high, hips up. There's inhale. Turn your chin, look right, bring it down. There's exhale, tail is last. Inhale, right hand high. And exhale, rolling down, look left. Hips up high. Look right. Good. Right hand up. As it comes down, look to the left. Left hand high. And look right. Good. You'll add your blocks. So getting your blocks, you'll set them on their lowest setting, on their bellies, side by side. Palms down right beside you, just as you just did. Heels down under your knees, feet flat, toes are long. Your right hand comes up high. You just stay. Walk your left fingertips a little closer to you and down towards the left heel. Left palm down, left forearm, right arm high. And let your right knee now move a little bit side to side. Let it fall in towards the left knee. And then let it wash open, keeping your hips on the block, letting your right knee fall in. And you'll feel the stretch through the inner thigh, through the outer right shoulder, all through the right side body. And then bring your right hand down, palm flat to the floor. Left hand is overhead. And now let your left knee fall in and open. As it falls in, reach a little further. So you have a psoas muscle, goes from the middle of your left back, wrapping in front of the pelvis and down to your inner thigh. It helps you lift your knees to walk, holds you in place when you sit. Just let it get a little longer and come back to center. Hands down, lift your hips. Turn the blocks to their sides, put their bellies together, and bring your hips back down. Again, right hand overhead, tuck your shoulders under. Let your right knee move a little side to side. Let it just wash back and forth now, loosening, in and out, in and out. Shoulders down, opening the front of the right hip. Pause, tap your right heel, and then right hand down. Notice right side. Good. Left hand overhead. Let your left knee move a little. It doesn't feel like you're doing a lot, but just letting your left knee loosen here, letting the psoas have permission to just get a little bit effortless is so beneficial. We're not pushing anything. We're making ease in the front body. Find center, tap your left heel to shake it out. And then hands down. You repeat that or tip the blocks to stand them on their tails. Last one, tuck your shoulders down, right hand overhead. And now when you move your right knee a little bit side to side, it won't go as far, it can't go as far, but you are finding a little more space. Shoulders keep tucking under. You're making it easy, just washing the right knee back and forth. Right hand down, left knee washes back and forth, left hand overhead. So notice the space between your hip bones and let that get softer. All these things hold us together. Let them be easy for a minute. Left hand down. So bending your elbows, your fingers point at the ceiling and your elbows plant into the floor. Your heels are under your knees, so press straight down and lift off the block an inch. Tuck a shoulder, tuck another. Now imagine both knees swaying inward towards each other and your heels drawn back towards your head. And now let it be as easy as you did when you were letting your knees move. Standing in the heels, let your hips move a little bit side to side. Open the front body. Good, and then you let your hips back to the blocks. Take the blocks out, roll down, and just notice the whole front body. Be very still. Keep your knees bent, keep your feet flat, and just notice the whole front surface of your pelvis and your chest and your throat. You may feel a little bit of a tremor. The legs may tremble. In that tremble, there's a release. Draw your right knee in towards your chest, interlace your fingers, and draw your right knee close, close, close. And release the low back. It can move around. You can roll your right ankle, open and close your toes. Good. Hold the back of your right thigh by your knee. And that might be your half happy baby, or hold outside your right ankle or outside your right foot and draw down toward the floor. Left hand on your thigh, press away and flex your right foot. Good. Bring your right knee down, be strong. Pressing the left thigh away. Your left hip will come off the floor. And that is fine. We're rinsing through the low back. We want this asymmetry. Good. As you release your leg, interlace your fingers behind your right thigh. Flex your foot. Take your hands as far down the right thigh as you can until you're almost around the hip. And sit your right hip into your hands and press your right thigh forward. Your arms will straighten a great deal. Stretching out the elbows, the tops of the shoulders, straighten the left leg. So flex your right foot, flex your left foot, and sit in your hands. That's it. That's it. Straighten your left leg, Peggy. Yeah, and now press into your heels and press both thighs. Press your right thigh towards me. Yes, yes, yes. There we go. There we go. Steph, what happens if you straighten your left leg? That's the one. Beauty. And then releasing feet to the floor. Just notice, let your arms go and feel the release through your arms, through your chest, through your face, through the back of your head and your scalp. Feel how the right foot and the right hip are released into the floor. Draw the left knee in, interlace your fingers, hold it close, rinse that, and use that to really stretch out through the left side low back. You can roll your left ankle open and closing your toes. Flex and point the left foot. And then the left hand holds behind your left thigh. Right hand on the right thigh. That can be your half baby, or holding the left outer ankle or outer left foot. Bring your left knee down. So your heel on the left side is right over your knee. And then use your right hand to bring it right down, right down. That's it. So Linda, fit it just in front of your left elbow. Yeah, and see if you can bring your knee to the foot. Yeah. So my shin is in front of my elbow. My elbow is wider than my knee. To go wider than your knee. Yes, there. See, you went to the floor. Releasing your foot, interlace your hands behind your left thigh and slide your hands down, 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 as low around the left hip as you can. Stand your left heel on the ceiling. And then your right leg presses out straight. And with your both legs straight, it's as though you're standing on the ceiling and standing on the wall in front of you, and you're seated in your hands. And your left hip is reaching forward towards your right foot. So left hip reaches forward, straightening the arms, firming the legs. It's a strong place. And releasing, both knees bend, feet to the floor, arms wide, and just let your feet be heavy, your hips heavy, but the whole front surface becomes very light. So good. You can stay right there or heels under your knees, elbows beside you, second bridge, just peeling up. Interlace your fingers now behind and beneath the backs of the hips. Tuck a shoulder, tuck another, and simply standing in your heels, drawing your heels towards your knuckles, pressing the pinky side of your knuckles into the hand, into the floor. And as you release your hands wide, roll down, widening your arms. Good. Widening your feet. Let your knees wash a little side to side. So knees are bent, feet are flat, but they're wide. Let both knees fall to the left. Put your left ankle over the outside of your right knee. Left ankle over the outside of the right knee. Flex both feet. Hands overhead, but your elbows are bent. So the left hand holds the right wrist. So the left foot is pressing the right outer knee softly towards the floor. And the left hand is holding the right wrist. And you let yourself settle into the floor. Oh, that's it. Look at you. 2 inches taller. To the center, arms wide, feet flat. Just notice. If you like, legs can straighten and be wide, shaking out the feet side to side and the knees up and down. Just these deep, final, lengthening rinses. Allowing ourselves to come back into neutral in a new way. So both knees falling to the right side. Your right ankle crossing over your left outer knee. Hands overhead. Your right hand holding your left wrist. Your right ankle lightly pressing into the knee lightly pressing into the ankle. And then your breath making length. Yeah. Just a sensation of letting go, letting yourself become longer. Oh. Like you're setting something down. Yeah. So that when you come into the center, legs long, arms wide, you feel the space you've made. Letting your feet wash side to side, letting your knees go up and down. Out the feet, out the knees. We'll draw the knees in and keep the knees wide. A little bit side to side. So this might be your perfect counter pose for all of that. Knees wide, holding the shins. Or you can plant your elbows and catch your hips in a modified shoulder stand with your knees very soft. Or if you have the space, tuck your shoulders under and drop the tips of your toes to the floor. You can use your hands on your hips. Or if you have the space, you can hold your outer feet or hold your heels, finding a bent knee plow. So it all depends. All we're looking for is letting your knees bend very much. You can either put your knuckles down, toes to the floor, hold my heel ready. When my heel goes down, your arms go long. Yeah. You're just looking to round through your back. Nice work. Awesome. Awesome. And just stay for 3 more breaths. I didn't know I could make this shape. I want you to breathe right here. I know, that's like the last place it would go. Yeah. That's the spot. That's the spot. You are replenishing your adrenals, your kidneys, your waters. You'll gently release, slowly roll down, slowly roll down. Put your knees bent, feet flat, and find neutral spine right there. But that final rinse of the spine is super to put all our pieces back in place. Good. So we'll build our Shavasana using the blanket and using our blocks. The blocks will go at the foot end, and the blanket will be that open rectangle. Fold it 2/3 from right side to left. So now my crease is, it's hard to see because I have one color, right? I went from this way, watch, to this way. A little more, Peggy, bring it in a little more. That's it. And then that goes at the top. And you'll take one corner and you tuck it under. And you take the other corner and you tuck it under. And you'll adjust that when you lie back. And then get any kind of extra covering, a sweater, if you want to cover your eyes. And as you lie back, the tops of your shoulders go on that extra third that's exposed, and your head fits right between those 2 little points that have been tucked in. I have to bring my bolsters next time. I'll bring them tomorrow. So you'll take your blocks. So before you go, you're going to take your blocks and see that they're underneath the meat of your calves. You're going to turn your toes in a little bit. And that way when you relax, your kneecaps turn up. Yep. So my shoulders are on the top of the blanket. Use your hands, tuck the edges, the corners of your blanket under the outer edge of your head. Adjust your blocks so that they are supporting your legs and your legs are supporting your back. And then widen your arms more than you think. And feel how taking your arms wide starts to make this extra space for your breath. Oh. Just finding any last adjustment. And letting your breath be full and smooth. allowing the effort you've made to fall away. And just feel the weight of your body settle into the back of your body. Letting your heels feel heavy. Letting your hips feel heavy. Allowing your belly to feel soft. The chest to open. The shoulders to fall. The backs of your hands, the back of your head, resting, held, and at ease. And as the body is held, the breath becomes looser, smaller, more effortless, more intimate. You are absolutely invited to use the next 8 minutes to stay right where you are, and your Shavasana will serve you. This stillness is wildly full of care. You are being received, even if your mind is busy. Let your body be still, effortless, resting in the simple sensation of yourself in gravity, in relation to the ground. Just keep setting down what it is you think you need to carry. Be held. Or if you would choose to go on and take this quiet serenity of body and bring it into the breath. I will just do 3 minutes of breath and then a very simple 3 minutes of meditation. And so the choice is absolutely right for you, whatever you choose. Stay as you are, or if you're coming with me, gently walk your feet in. Let your feet bend, let your feet rest on the floor as your knees bend, and feel the weight through the backs of your hips. And just let your knees fall to one side as you're ready, and let that roll your back off the floor, and use your breath to fill the back of your body before you go. So that before you come upright, you've re-inflated the backs of your lungs that have been pressed as you went to the floor. And as your back feels three-dimensional, full-bodied, then you roll yourself up. And arriving in your cross-legged seat, the left hand rests to your thigh, thumb and first fingertips touch. The right hand, first two fingers together, and you just use the tip of your right thumb. And right above and behind the right side flare of your nostril. So a little softening. Close there and breathe easily in through the left. And your fourth finger closes the left side and you breathe out through the right. Close the right, breathe in through the left. Close the left, breathe out through the right. In left, 2, 3, 4. Out right, 2, 3, 4. In left. Out right. In left. Continue that count, that pace, that steadiness. In left, out right. In left, full. Pause. out right. Normal breathing, 3 breaths. And you close the left side and you breathe in right. 2, 3, 4. Close right, out left. 2, 3, 4. Close left, in right. Close right, out left. In right. Out left. You continue. Until you go in right. Pause full. 4, 3, 2. Out left. And normal breathing. And just allow left side, right side to balance and to settle. That really everything you've done this morning brought you right to this moment. And in this moment there's a clarity. And in the clarity, perhaps we can hear differently. And when we hear differently, we may feel differently. And so as you hear these words, feel them. Rather than listening with the mind and forming a response, as you hear them, feel them with the heart, right? Listen with your heart. You exist because of centuries of love. Hundreds of strangers who found one another and by some mystical, unexplainable force chose each other, even just for a moment. Your body is the dust of the stars and the soul of your lineage. You were loved into existence. You are not here by accident, but by an astounding chance and choice. You are a sacred thing. You will never occur in this exact way again. And just feel that. You are a sacred thing. In the steadiness of your mind, in the sweetness of your body, I am. I am a sacred thing. That's the yoga we come for. Let your breath deepen, let your body move as it needs to, so that you can sweep wide, freely, fully, hands up high, palms together and down the center. And 2 more like that, sweeping up and down the center. And the last time, the hands go high. And the thumbs to the forehead, center. Om Shanti Shanti, peace, peace, perfect peace. Namaste. Happy Saturday from the studio in Baltimore. We made it. We made it to the other shore. Huge thank you. Lori and Stephanie came over to my house and made sure to resuscitate me as a teacher at least once a week so that I could make it to the next week. And it was just amazing. And they suffered through cold floors and cats chewing on their heads. And I I don't know, without that company weekly, would we be here? So super grateful. And we will be here tomorrow morning at 8 is our kundalini. So till then.